we kind of put our trust in and turn to represent us as the players. And, I have open dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to work for every single person. So you have to be very intentional. And if you have questions, you can reach out to those people. And there's certainly been people that I've reached out to and had communication with. So I think you just rely on that and rely on the people that are in those positions that you trust them, and they're going to do the best representing the entire group.
In the volatile billion-dollar world of corporate public relations, there's a well-known survival tactic used by elite executives called plausible deniability. When a massive corporation is falling apart, the smartest person doesn't try to fight the fire. They quietly step away and claim they had no involvement in the disaster. Over the past 17 months, the WNBA Players Association has looked like a runaway train heading toward chaos. Collective bargaining negotiations have been mishandled. Internal leadership conflicts have spilled into media. Agents are pushing their own agendas. And the league is now facing the possibility of a major lockout on March 10th. Amid all this noise and controversy, the most valuable star in the sport, Caitlin Clark, stepped up to a microphone in Miami and delivered what many see as a masterclass in strategic public relations. Instead of defending the union or attacking the league's owners, Clark carefully distanced her personal brand from the entire dispute. Her response was calm, neutral, and calculated, creating a clear separation between her growing global brand and the uncertain future of the league's labor negotiations. While reporters pushed for a strong stance or a headline-grabbing statement, Clark chose a different approach, smiling, keeping her comments measured, and avoiding any direct alignment with the union's messaging. By doing so, she effectively protected her reputation and business interests, while the larger conflict continues to unfold within the league.
Dialect with them. I can't say I've been on every single CBA call that's been open to the players. It just conflicts with everybody's schedule. That's impossible when there's 144 players. You can't line up a call that is going to...
Caitlin Clark made it clear that she hasn't been on every CBA call available to players, explaining that with 144 players in the league, it's impossible for everyone's schedule to align. On the surface, it sounds like a simple explanation about logistics, but the message behind it carries much deeper meaning. By calmly stating that she hasn't been part of every discussion, Clark subtly distances herself from the intense internal conflict surrounding the negotiations. In media terms, it's a careful move that removes her from the center of the controversy. She signals that while the union and its leadership continue to debate strategies and face criticism over the ongoing labor tensions, she is not positioning herself as a central decision-maker in those conversations. If the situation escalates toward a major strike or lockout, Clark has effectively made it clear that she was not directly involved in those negotiations. Instead, she shifts the responsibility toward the union leadership and team representatives who are actively handling the talks. Meanwhile, rather than engaging in the public arguments and social media battles that have surrounded the dispute, Clark appears focused on her own development and career. With attention turning toward international competition and Team USA preparation, she is stepping onto a much larger stage, expanding her profile beyond the immediate drama of the WNBA's internal conflicts and positioning herself as a global figure in the sport.
Very, very small numbers. So getting to play in just this World Cup qualifier obviously is a huge honor within itself. And, I know getting to put on the jersey will be super special. And, these are the teams I watched growing up. My favorite players played on these teams. So everybody knows what an honor it is to wear USA.
Wearing USA across the chest is considered one of the greatest honors in sports. And for Caitlin Clark, it represents something even bigger: the launch of a truly global brand. While many veteran WNBA players are worried about the possibility of a lockout, because the league is their primary platform for exposure and sponsorships, Clark appears far less vulnerable to that scenario. Even if the league faced major disruptions, her opportunities would not disappear. She could still represent Team USA on the international stage, compete in global tournaments, and remain a major figure in the sports media spotlight. Television networks and sponsors clearly understand her growing influence, which is why international competitions and broadcasts tied to her appearances attract major attention. Clark's career trajectory is expanding beyond the traditional boundaries of the WNBA, with global sponsorships, international visibility, and the potential to become a central figure for Team USA in future Olympic competition. While debates around league negotiations continue, Clark seems focused on building her brand on a much larger stage. At the same time, her time away from the spotlight during the offseason has likely been about preparation. After an intense rookie season filled with physical challenges, constant competition, and a quick transition from college basketball to professional level, the break has given her the chance to recover, strengthen her body, and refine her game. For elite athletes, these periods away from public view are rarely about rest alone. They are about training, recovery, and improvement. If Clark returns stronger and healthier, it could signal that the next chapter of her career will be even more impactful than the historic start she has already delivered.
But more than anything, just really excited. I know how much work and how much time I've put in to make sure my body's as healthy as it can be, and to get back not only to a point where I feel like I'm myself, but I feel like I'm even better than, where I was at the beginning of last season. And I started off this.
Caitlin Clark recently explained how much work and time she has invested into making sure her body is in the best possible condition. After an exhausting rookie season, she focused on recovery and preparation with the goal of not only returning to her previous level, but becoming even better than she was at the start of last season. That statement alone sends a strong message to the rest of the league. Clark was already incredibly difficult to defend, even while dealing with fatigue and the physical toll of a long season. Now she believes she has improved her physical baseline after months of focused training and recovery. During the offseason, she had the opportunity to strengthen her core, improve lower body stability, and refine the mechanics that make her shooting release so quick and difficult to contest. Rather than taking unnecessary risks in additional off-season competitions, she prioritized controlled training, recovery, and skill development. For elite athletes, these months away from the spotlight are often the most important part of long-term growth. If Clark truly returns stronger, healthier, and more refined than before, the rest of the basketball world could be facing an even more dangerous version of a player who already changed the game during her historic rookie season.
Obviously a ton of that, but there's, you need to just go out there and play pickup and play 5-on-5 with the guys, or play threes, and just trying to get my lungs in the best shape I possibly can without really playing a competitive game.
Caitlin Clark explained that much of her offseason preparation involved simply getting back on the court and playing pickup basketball, often running full 5-on-5 games with male athletes to rebuild her conditioning without the pressure of official competition. Training in that type of environment can push a player to react faster, make quicker decisions, and sharpen ball handling and court awareness, because the pace and physical intensity are often extremely demanding. By consistently competing in high-speed scrimmages, Clark was able to challenge herself physically and mentally while improving her endurance and timing. When she eventually returns to the WNBA court, that kind of preparation can make the game feel slower and more manageable, giving her a noticeable competitive edge. At the same time, while the league continues dealing with uncertainty surrounding labor negotiations and the possibility of lockout, Clark has largely stayed focused on her own development and opportunities on the international stage with Team USA. Rather than becoming deeply involved in the ongoing debates between the union and league leadership, she appears to be concentrating on training, expanding her global profile, and preparing for the next phase of her career. Her approach highlights how elite athletes often focus on performance and long-term growth, while larger business and political issues unfold around them.